Hello, welcome to the Soulprint Pick Your Crystal weekly reading for the week of June 6th through June 12th. So today I thought that we would use wands as our crystals. So this one is a beautiful pink quartz wand, a beautiful clear quartz wand, and a beautiful amethyst wand. So just take a moment and see which wand resonates to your soul. Which wand are you reaching out for? It may be more than one. Remember, this is a general reading. Hopefully, whichever one you choose will bring you a message that you find helpful and insightful. Let's get started. It's going to start with this beautiful pink quartz. Very hard to see. I apologize for that. Okay, you've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Three of Cups. So, a very interesting energy we're looking at. It is time to recognize that very often the things that we feel trapped by can very often be our own thoughts, our own thinking patterns. It is important to recognize that you really do have the ability to move past those things that you feel are barriers and move towards something that feels more like it is of your creation, it is of your making, that you are putting together a world and a life experience and a soul print that is what you are looking for and what you desire. So this message really is about moving past that voice in your head. And that voice might be your own voice or somebody else's voice that goes around and around and around, like, a hamster on a wheel. It's time to shut that down. And sometimes the easiest way to shut that down is literally to just catch yourself mid-thought and say, stop, that's enough. And replace that with another thought. And you might want to, figure out what that thought is a little bit beforehand so you can easily go to something that is far more positive and nurturing. But for whatever reason, the message here is very clear. It's about moving past your own thoughts so that you can create the abundance in your life. You can create the joy, the successes, the new beginnings. And because you have the Three of Cups here, it feels as if, whether maybe you recognize it or not, but there is support for you. And whether this is through friends or family, but there is definitely those around you who would be more than willing and in fact anxious to help you move through this process of quieting those voices. Perhaps they will be able to not only give you some insights as to perhaps or some clarity in terms of the direction you want to go, but they also may literally be able to cancel out some of those thoughts with some positive messages of their own. This is a week for moving past the false beliefs. Moving past those things that you really believe only because you were told they were so. Not even necessarily that you came to that conclusion on your own. And you repeat it over and over and over again, unwittingly. When people are saying things to you that are harmful and hurtful, you have to release them. Because when people are purposely cruel like that, they have their own agenda. And their own agenda very often, in fact, almost always, is never a compliment to where you're going. Because if it was, they wouldn't need to be cruel and insulting. So it's time to still the voices, focus on becoming strong and independent, successful and happy, and know that there are friends who are able to support you. This is a good time for new beginnings. It is a good time to start fresh, if you will. Okay, for those of you who picked the clear quartz wand, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Two of Wands, and we have the World. So these three cards are telling a story of, okay, it's telling a story of somebody who is waiting for a new start or a new beginnings, waiting for their ship to come in, literally waiting to make a choice, find a direction. But the reality of the situation is you haven't made that choice yet. You are not clear in your head. So it's like what you're trying to manifest is muddled because you haven't definitively said, this is what I want, and therefore I'm going to put my energy and my time into bringing that towards me, looking out for the opportunities, watching for guidance or support that might be out there. There is very definitely a really strong sense of something that you want to begin anew. And it's interesting because this doesn't really feel like an ending and a beginning as much as it feels more like making a decision so you have real clarity about what that new beginning actually looks like. So I don't know what kind of a choice you're trying to make, but whatever it is, this grouping of cards is telling you to gain more clarity about what it is you actually want. So let's say, for example, you want to find a new job. And you're kind of in that headspace where you're sort of like, well, I just need a job. I really need a job. And so whatever comes along is great. And that may be okay. But it would also be really good, instead of just sort of blindly kind of just drawing whatever's out there to you, to say, I would like to have a new job, and these are the elements I'm looking for. These are some of the things that I want to draw towards me in terms of a new employment situation. I have clarity. I want perhaps this kind of a work environment. Perhaps I want this kind of, money. Perhaps I want these specific talents to be utilized more. But there needs to be some clarity of the decisions and choices that you're trying to make, because once you can see them clearly, that is when they start coming towards you. That is when they literally start their energetic journey towards you. And the world is saying, you know what? It's time for new. It's just time to move forward now. Already make a decision. Watch out for the guidance and the insight and the advice, and allow that forward movement or momentum to help direct where you're going. Because there really is a sense that it's almost as if Spirit is saying, we know what you want, but you give us no guidance, I guess. It's sort of like saying, it's like this. It's like, let's say in your heart of hearts, right in this moment, you really want a grilled cheese sandwich. Okay, this is a goofy example, but go with me. You really want a grilled cheese sandwich. And somebody says to you, what do you want for lunch? And you say, I don't know, but I'm hungry. That's not going to get you your grilled cheese sandwich unless the only thing that is available is cheese, bread, and butter. Okay? So you need to become more clear and definitive about what it is you're looking for, so that the universe can start bringing it towards you, and then you have the power and the energy for this new beginning and this new creation. And for those of you who are now craving a grilled cheese sandwich, including myself, I apologize. All right. The beautiful amethyst wand. This is lovely. Let's see what your cards are for this week. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Wands. Okay, so this week is obviously a week where the energy is about communicating. It is about getting your ideas across. It is about finally moving forward with those, whatever it is, those ideas, those communications that you are now ready to move forward with. Perhaps it is something that you have been putting off. Maybe it is a communication or a conversation with somebody that you're really not ready to have, or have not been ready to have. Maybe it is responding to some correspondence. Maybe it's actually just getting started on something new, having to do with sharing your ideas, your thoughts, your words. Perhaps you're thinking of writing a book. Perhaps you're thinking of finishing a book. Perhaps you want to start a YouTube channel or do a podcast. Perhaps you just want to talk to a friend of yours that you haven't talked with in a while. The Three of Pentacles is, again, it's talking about with the help of friends. It's talking about people coming together to support you and guide you and help make this challenge easier to accomplish or easier to carry. So part of what it feels very much like you're looking for is sort of some clarity, some stability, some security. But every journey, as they say, starts with one step. And so this is sort of the message of this card. It's time to take those steps. And if you need additional support or guidance or help, know that that energy is around you, whether it is through friends, through associates, perhaps it is through some sort of a support group. But there is the guidance and the help and the support and the resources out there for you. But it's time now for you to move forward, to create the kind of vision or communications that you wish to create and share. So for those of you who picked the Amethyst wand, this really is a week to focus your thoughts, hear your words, and gain some real clarity and move forward, secure in the knowledge and the understanding that you have the ability, the power, and the support to create whatever it is you are wanting to create. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be a week of moving forward. That's definitely what this feels like. It's time to move forward. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Soulprint Pick Your Crystal weekly readings. Until next week, I wish you a magical, magical week full of insights, guidance, and surprises. Bye now.